Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the RDA. This is a very late press conference reaction as I've been out the whole day. I have been out the whole day, but I'm back home and let's get straight into it. I'm very interested. I haven't been on my phone the whole day, I haven't seen any news, I haven't been on Twitter like I say, so let's get straight into it and see how this press conference has gone. Do remember to smash a like on the video, do remember to subscribe if you are new. Let's get straight into it. He was asked, "Hi Ralf, there's so much talk about the numbers and tactics with your Manchester United, but how important are the character and courage in the game for tomorrow?" He said for tomorrow, probably the most important part, character, energy, commitment to winning that game in that atmosphere, which will probably be pretty similar to the one at Leeds. For example, we're all aware of the importance of the game on both sides. Both for them is highly important, as for us as well. Obviously, I'm mentioning about Everton's game being important because of the relegation battle, and us, I don't know what the importance for us is, because for me, like I said, I think top four is done regardless, even if we win this game, So I think it's an important game for Everton. I think it's a must game for winning for Everton. But for us, I think it's just about winning that game for some dignity or whatever's left of it. He was then asked, how surprised have you been that you haven't reached the levels of consistency you'd want from your talented players? He says, I was not surprised. Okay. I knew that from the start. I think if you see the whole process over the last 4 or 5 months, I think we developed the team in some areas, but as you said, it's all about being consistent and consistency. This is what we have to start tomorrow with the best possible performance, and for tomorrow it's all about winning that game. I agree, but I like that from Ralf, basically saying we haven't been consistent, and this is basically the situation, not trying to hide behind anything. I was then asked about, in terms of personnel, Ronaldo, Jesse, Luke were missing on the weekend. Are those back, or what's the situation? Cristiano is back again. Fantastic. Luke is still injured. It's unfortunate for Luke. And about Cavani is still injured. Ralf Rangnick is still injured. Okay. Well, I didn't know that Rafael was injured, but that's an interesting one. He said he'll be missing the game tomorrow. The same is true with Scott McTominay. Okay, so that's some 4 players that arguably would start for United. Luke Shaw, Cavani maybe on another day, Rafael Varane definitely, and Scott McTominay probably. And those are 4 players that are injured, so very interesting. Cavani to me doesn't really matter. Varane is a big one, but like I say, Lindelof is no Rafael Varane, but I still prefer him to start over Maguire, so don't really mind that. Scott McTominay, don't really care. Luke is a 50-50 with Tellers at the moment, so let's see what happens. Then he was asked about Mr. Ten Hag. What's your assessment of Eric Ten Hag's managerial qualities? And then Ralf said, I think this is a press conference for tomorrow's game, and I don't intend to speak about any new managers. Yeah, as far as I know, all the managers that the club has spoken to so far, all top managers, top coaches. If this includes Ten Hag, then it's also true with him. That's all I can say at this stage. For me, it's about preparing the team for tomorrow's game to get 3 points, and I can imagine, that question had to come out. Nothing wrong with it really. Ralf, what's he gonna say? I've spoken to Ten Hag. He's definitely a good suit for the next manager. He's not going to really say that, but it's quite nice that you get a little bit of a tease, because I wouldn't say it's definitely done and it's 100% done that we're getting Ten Hag, but definitely seems you're on the right track for Ten Hag to be our next manager. You then asked about, you've spoken about your overachieving role at the club. Have you been consulted at all during this process? He says, well, I know with the coaches that I've spoken so far, and that's what I can say, all the coaches that I've spoken so far, top coaches, but again, my focus is on tomorrow, and the upcoming games. So kind of dishing out about this role that he's supposed to have after the interim job. He's just saying, again, reiterating that his focus is on the rest of the season, and then whatever happens after that happens. But I think it's quite scary that Ralf hasn't been confronted really about the future and what he's going to do after the interim period, because I definitely don't think Ralf is going to get the job for sure. He was then also asked about your own future again, about this week. You've all got the plans yet? Do you know what your career looks like after the summer? He says we agreed upon a contract as an advisor, and we will speak about that in a couple of weeks next show, I'm pretty sure. He was then asked about the balance and trying to find the balance between the attacking side, defensive side. Why do you think it's difficult to achieve that? He says to do that with the kind of players that we have available, as you know. We have quite a few strikers missing in the last weeks and months. In the game against Leicester, when on top of that we also had Ronaldo not available, and then only had 2-3 strikers in the squad. That's one reason, and obviously that's the focus. In the first couple of weeks we put more focus on being more stable defensively, conceding not that many goals, which we did. And then at one stage we also found out that we need a plan in possession of the ball to create chances ourselves, and we've improved in that area. Don't really agree with that, Ralf. I think the same old problems are here with United, and I don't necessarily blame you. I just think these players can't be asked, and some of them definitely don't have the qualities to do that. He was then asked, you face Everton tomorrow, you clearly know they're in a fight for top. You in a fight for top four. They're fighting to stay in the Premier League. Two big clubs, not where they're expected to be at the start of the season. It is a reminder that in football things aren't a given. Then I think we spoke about that in the recent press conference. That this happens in football, not only in England but in other leagues. Blah 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 blah. Nothing really important. We also spoke about recently Manchester City and Liverpool. What do you think they have done well at this club, and what can you learn from them? Do you think that gap can be breached relatively quickly, or do you think it'll take a long time? Good question, I would say. I think I'll also answer that question. I do think Ralf has answered the type of question like this definitely in the past. He said, but again, it doesn't make sense to speak about that right now because it doesn't help us to win points tomorrow. Right now, it's the present tense in Goodison Park tomorrow, 12:30. Highly important game for two big clubs, and it's up to us to show that we can and give everything to win that game. So, quite a blunt press conference, I'd say. You know, what are we really going to expect? I do think that in terms of press conferences, what Ralf can say, what this team can produce in these last few weeks, it's not going to be much unless they're going to try and put on a performance for their new future manager and show that, you know, there's a reason to pick them. Because I think whoever our new manager could be, whether it is a Ten Hag, Pochettino, whatever, I think whoever's linked to this job, and if they are really linked to this job, they'd be watching Manchester United games a little bit here and there. So players would be looking to perform already. So that's just my opinion. But do smash a like on the video. Do subscribe if you are new. Hope you all have a good day. Hope you have a good weekend. United play tomorrow. Let's go and get that win. I shall see you all again very soon. Goodbye.